Welcome to Agnovation on IITA TV. My name is Folake Odunton. This is a show where we bring to you latest innovation in agriculture developed by IITA scientists to help farmers improve their yields, increase their income, and generally improve their livelihoods. There have been tons of technologies and innovations developed by IITA, and today we are going to focus on one area, one aspect of technology dissemination to farmers through IITA. And we have an expert on the show today who is a training manager for Zero Hunger Initiative. And Zero Hunger means no hunger in the land. I presume you would also agree with me on that. And she will tell us all about how our project has been achieving or helping Nigeria achieve zero hunger. And I'm sure maybe even across Nigeria or further than Nigeria. When we return from this short break, she would introduce herself. Welcome back. It's still your show, Agnovation on IITA TV. My name is Folake Odunton. Today we have an eminent guest who is the training manager for Zero Hunger Initiative in IITA. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Bolanle Olorodi. I'm a training manager here in IITA under the Agribusiness and Mechanization Unit, and specifically on the Zero Hunger Initiative project that is being funded by IFAD here in IITA. Thank you.
Welcome, Madam Bola.
Thank you.
Please tell us a bit about your project and your role in the project at large.
Thank you very much. The Zero Hunger Project is a short form of a project titled Agricultural Transformation in Nigerian Federal States and regions in Togo towards achieving zero hunger. Basically, countries of the world, they have zero hunger initiatives in place. So what this project intends to do or is doing already is to help to enhance the achievement of these initiatives that have been set ahead of time. And we are running the project on two basic value chains, which is the cassava value chain and rice value chains. You agree with me that these two crops, they are like life-saving crops for food for everybody. So in Nigeria, we're working in 3 states specifically. Ogun State and Benue State, we are running the cassava value chain. And in Ebonyi, we are running the rice value chain. While we're running the project in Kara, Savannah, and Plateaus and Maritime regions in Togo for both value chains. The project has 2 major focus, which is twin-headed at the same time. We focus on technology and innovation and also policy analysis and policy engagement. You'll agree with me that when you have good innovations, it has to be driven with the engine of policy, a good policy framework. Remember I said it's a project that is supporting aims to enhance the zero hunger initiatives in different states, in countries and stuff like that. So really, technology and innovation, also going hand in hand with policy analysis and policy engagement so that the government can develop a framework for policies that will help in the uptake of technologies and innovation, which IITA is doing well in, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you for the work you do. How important is capacity development in improving the outputs and livelihoods of farmers that you train or that you impact in this project?
Yeah, thank you. Capacity development is key. Let me reinforce this by telling you a short story. It's of the tortoise folklore that we normally listen to. One day the tortoise, left his house and he thought, I'm going to gather all the knowledge in the world and I'm going to put it in this gourd. So no other person has access to the knowledge unless I give it to them. So he went around the world, took all the wisdom, knowledge, and he put it in the gourd. Then he now thought, I don't want any other person to have access. I must go and keep it somewhere nobody has access to. So he tied a rope around it, went to the palm tree, and then placed it in front of him and tried to climb. Each time he tried to climb, he kept falling. And all of a sudden, the rabbit ran past. I was like, oh, Mr. Tortoise, what's the problem? Oh, I want to take this to the top of a tree. I was like, why don't you flip it to the back? And then you'll be able to get there. The tortoise said, oh, that's nice. But all of a sudden, it dawned on him that I thought I had collected all the knowledge in the world, which means learning is continuous. And so, to get back to your question, building the capacities of farmers is very key because it helps them to improve their productivity, it helps to reduce post-harvest losses, and also to increase their income and ultimately profitability. Farmers are very intelligent. Let's not get it mixed up.
Okay.
But over time, they are very conservative and they're used to doing things the same way. However, with capacity building, we are able to leverage on the knowledge they have, take them from where they are to where we want them to be.
Okay.
However, it is not a one-off activity. And even beyond helping them increase productivity, reducing post-harvest losses, and also increasing their income, it is important to ensure that they are financially literate and also they are aware of the market. And also we build entrepreneurial skills. Farmers are conservative, as I said, and they always only focus on production. Mine is just to produce. They are not thinking of the business side. So capacity building, development is germane to help us achieve the food security that is the main goal
of the project. All right, well done. I like how you describe the interaction of institutions, like take, for example, the Zero Hunger Initiative with farmers. I want you to talk a bit about how IITA particularly, we've mentioned that farmers are intelligent, they have wealth of knowledge, they have the way they do their things. How particularly does IITA help farmers to adopt innovations that come from IITA as an institution?
Thank you very much. That's a very good question. IITA has been here for long, and IITA has done so much. IITA has invested in a lot of innovations that has helped farmers, that is helping them, and will continue to help them. I'll talk briefly about 5 thereabout. IITA has invested a lot in crop innovations. Invested in reducing post-harvest losses. Also invested in digital extension. IITA has also put forward encouraging young farmers, youths, bringing them into agriculture in order to sustain the momentum. And also, IITA has also focused on training and demonstration. There is no way, if you can't give me fish all the time. You just have to teach me how to fish. And IITA is poised to ensure sustainability of these innovations over time. Because we will always come, but we will not always be with you on the field. And so some of the crop innovations that I can talk about, we have improved varieties. Crops that are high yielding, crops that are disease resistant, crops that are climate resilient. We are all very aware that climate change is closing in on us and it is affecting farmers so much on the field. And so building on these 3 pillars, improved yields, climate resilient varieties, and disease resistance is very key. IITA has very fantastic scientists who have really worked and taken their time to develop. And so it is important to now push this to the farmers. However, in local parlance, people will tell you, you have to do it the way, use it the way, according to manual. Let me just put it that way. So if we have improved varieties don't perform magic. It just has to come in a combination of efforts, and that's where capacity building comes on. How do they manage their farms in order to get the best out of their variety? How do they manage their farms in order to ensure that, okay, this is high yield? I mean, it is a short duration crop, so it can actually beat the weather. So timing is very key. And also we have post-harvest, technologies, especially value addition. ITA has invested so much in, especially if you check out maybe cassava, how can farmers turn their cassava into something that can stay for longer? Pre-COVID, you remember farmers have actually suffered a lot. At times, let me just talk about cassava, for instance. At times, farmers do not harvest their cassava because the prices are incredibly low. Because they are like, if I have to still put in money to go and harvest, and I still sell below cost of production. But post-COVID, things changed. However, if farmers are equipped with knowledge on how to add value to their cassava, they can keep it for longer. So they are not forced to sell at just any price, just because they need money at that time. So it is important. IIT has made a very good mark in post-harvest technologies. Then we talk about digital extension. Agriculture should not be as it was in the beginning, so it is now, and so no. I remember the problems of agriculture I used to read when I was in primary, secondary school. Maybe just about 20% of those problems have gone away. 80% of those problems, my children are still reading about it. And agriculture just has to move from the primitive way to a more advanced level. And digital extension is doing that, is bridging a gap. For instance, we have mobile apps that can help farmers improve on what they are doing. IIT has things like, for instance, you have your Kilimo, you have IIT herbicide calculator, and more recently, even on the Zero Hunger project, we developed a mobile app called Farm Advice, which helps the farmers to leverage tailor-made recommendations to help their farm work. Let me just stop at that point.
Thank you. Before we take a short break, I want to highlight a few things that you've said. Farmers have their challenges, and IT is trying to solve this problem from a research angle, developing innovations, developing technologies that would help farmers. Particularly, you work in the area of bringing this innovation to farmers in a way that, technically it's about behavioral change in a way that would transform the whole way to the new way. So I commend the work you do in bringing innovation to farmers in a way that they can actually adopt it or bring it to include it in their work on the farms. And I want to encourage you, our viewers, to keep watching the show to learn various technologies and innovations developed by IITA to help farmers improve their yields and improve their livelihoods ultimately. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll keep talking with Madam Bola. Welcome back. It's still your show, Agnovation, on IITA TV. I remain your host, Folake Odunto. And we've been speaking with Madam Bola, who is the training manager for Zero Hunger Initiative, and how the project have been bringing innovations developed in IITA to farmers through capacity development. Once again, thank you, Madam Bola, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Can you please take us further on particularly how the capacity development that the project Zero Hunger Initiative does for farmers, how does it particularly improve their income?
Thank you very much for that question. As I said earlier, learning never stops, and you keep learning, unlearning, and relearning. For our farmers on the Zero Hunger project, I can say that since we started the project in 2021, their level has gone from here up to here. Definitely they are not there yet, because as I said, learning is continuous. However, the way we operated in the project is such that we operate the trainer model.
Okay.
How do I mean? We have partners on the project, and especially we work with extension agents who in turn goes to train the farmers. We train the extension agents, and the extension agents also go on to train the farmers, because farmers it's not easy bringing them out of their comfort zone. However, the extension agents are quite familiar with them, and so they take the trainings to them. And one of such training is on good agronomic practices. Generally, if I speak about the project, especially on cassava value chain, we've taught the extension agents on cassava, on best agronomic practices in cassava, and then which can also help enhance the beauty of adopting improved varieties. Also, we've taught them on how to ensure they have optimum plant spacing, which is a bedrock of a profitable venture. A lot of other initiatives, especially one of the beautiful innovations that IIT has, given us is using the IIT herbicide calculator. Over time, we discovered that farmers waste a lot of money because, number one, they don't even know how much herbicide to apply, or they apply wrongly. So IIT herbicide calculator is one good innovation from IIT that out of the many wonderful innovations that we took to the extension agents, and the extension agents took to the farmers to help them calculate the exact quantity of herbicides they would need. This way, they will save on cost, they will help the environment, and also give quality products that would not be harmful to the end users at the end of the day. So when farmers are able to know exact quantities of input to use, they won't waste money, because I always say farmers are price takers. When you produce and it's whatever you are offered, you don't have so much control over the market price, but you can control how much you spend to a large extent, so that the lesser you spend, you're able to increase your profit margin over time. But another aspect we also push for is keeping records. Farmers rarely keep records. When you don't know how much you're spending, how do you know where to stop, or if there's a problem along the way? So these little things, things that people overlook, such as record keeping, these are things that we have pushed to the extension agents. Extension agents have pushed to the farmers. Of course, it's not something they are adopting, taking hook, line, and sinker. It takes time. I've told you farmers are very conservative, but we also try to walk through lead farmers, because farmers tend to believe other farmers more than you. They are like, have you done it before? Has it worked? And then they say, oh, if it worked for you, I'm sure it can also work for me. So we also took that approach to engage lead farmers as well. And over time, we were able to do a midterm survey of, when the project got midway. And we could see that from the time we met them at the beginning, at the baseline study, up until midterm, farmers have been able to improve on their productivity by up to 4-5 tons from the point we met them on an average. Whereas the non-adopters were also able to improve on their output, but with just about 2 tons. So you can see that there's a difference. And I'm sure that over time, capacity development is not one-off. It's something you keep doing provide technical backstopping, and then you ensure when they have problems, how best can you do it? Okay, do it this way. And over time, they master the game and they make more money over time.
Interesting. Well done.
Thank you.
So we have seen that we cannot underemphasize or overemphasize the importance of training or capacity development for farmers. Yes.
Basically.
Because outrightly, we can have all the innovations, but if they are not trained to adopt them, then both ends lose, both the institute and farmers and even the nation at large. And so well done. But what would you say the role of partnership is in helping the project, disseminate innovation to farmers? What's the role of partnerships, and how have you leveraged on this, if you have in any way, for farmers' profits or benefits?
Thank you for that question. Partnership is fundamental. And one of the, cardinal points of this project is to, partner with national agricultural research extension systems in the country. Okay. Both here in Nigeria and in Togo. Because no man is an island. And the project has tried to leverage, on low-hanging fruits. If you have to reinvent the wheel, it doesn't make economic sense. Neither does it make time sense. So what we do is we look for partners in areas where we want to work and see what level are they. Okay. How can they help us push this further? And so here in Nigeria, we've been able to work with, in Ogun State, we work with Ogadep, Ogun State Agricultural Development Program. We also worked with IFAD-funded Value Chain Development Program in Ogun State, and as well in Benue State. And under this project, they already have extension agents that are already working with farmers. Okay. So all we did was to develop their capacities further from the point we met them in 2021 up until now. Okay. In fact, the situation is even not as, in quotes, not as easy as it was in Ogun State, in Benue State, because Benue State basically do not have so much extension agents under government paid employment. Okay. However, the ad hoc extension agents that the VCDP project has been working with, we took them up. We developed their capacities further, and they are the ones that, in fact, they are doing fantastically well, moving into the hinterland, despite these insecurity challenges, to have to reach areas, to reach the farmers with the technologies, with the information. Also in Togo, we are working with ITRA. ITRA is like Agronomic Research Institute, their own version over there. There are existing structures that has helped to push the ideology of the Zero Hunger project, further. And one key thing we also emphasize on is, before you go on, you must do a needs assessment in building capacities. Okay. You don't just assume that farmers are here. What if they are here? All you have to do is just to take it up. But if you think they are here, and then what they already know you are pushing it, it's a waste of time, waste of funds. So we run a capacity needs assessment alongside these partner agencies, partner organizations, and also we partner with the government. There is nothing you want to do in agriculture that you can't, because the government owns everybody, really. So the Ministry of Agriculture is very key. They are one of our partners. VCDP, they are one of the projects. We partner together. Ogadep, Benue State Agriculture, the Ogadep version in Benue State. We also work with some universities like FUNAB, Federal University of Agriculture in Ogun State, in building the capacities of farmer processors, really, on value addition. A lot of organizations that have really helped to pull together what we have today in Zero Hunger project. So a partnership is very key, because no man is an island. Yeah,
thank you very much. And we appreciate all of these partners who have supported the work of the Zero Hunger project and made the work of dissemination easy. Thank you for the work you do. Thank you for putting power to the hands of farmers, by training. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Okay, viewers, that's all we can take on the show today. And if you have suggestions or questions on how we can better disseminate innovations to farmers, please contact us on all our social media platforms at IITA TV, and we'll be glad to take your suggestions and questions. And until I come your way again on the next episode of Agnovation on IITA TV, I remain Folake Odunton. Have a lovely time. Bye.